Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to pre-market update. And we can see this is Nasdaq and all these other indices. You can see bounces along the way, touches of green line yesterday. You can see here around 8:30 a.m., 9:30, let's say around 10 a.m., bouncing around here from green zone to the neutral zone, which is white zone, 1% up here on Nasdaq. Again, this morning futures came 4 a.m. down. Now they're again going very closer to green zone here, and S&P 500 same thing, touching green zones. You can see here in the morning yesterday around 0.77% higher, now again back near green zone after this neutral white line. Same thing with the Dow Jones. Actually, Dow Jones is a bit weaker due to some earnings. It's sitting right on this buy zone. Russell 2000 is also touching the buy zone. Even Bitcoin, you can see yesterday touched the buy zone and then nice bounce from the almost 2% bounce. Here also on Sunday night evening, you can see 5 p.m. to bounce 4% higher, then dump, gave everything back. Again 3% down, and then again from 3% down up to 3% up again, and again from 3% down to again down 3.3%. So in one day or in couple of days, you can make maybe more than 15-20% using this indicator. If you want to know more about this indicator, click on the join description of this video. There's a join button, join, subscribe to my channel, and let me know your user ID. I will add you to members only section in Discord group. You can comment on this video with your user ID and I will share these levels with you. You can, as often as you want, any stocks I buy, I'm sharing those levels, and any stocks you like me to review, I will share those as well. Okay guys, let's review now side by side. Let's go to our daily chart and let's see how things are going up. And you can see here, let's start with SPX. Now there are gaps here, okay? So there is gap at the top, yellow gap, bottom yellow gap. We are right in the middle. And I think both gaps could fill, I don't know when. NVDA earnings is tomorrow evening. So that could be a big factor on what happens with this gap fill. And you can see here NVIDIA, uh, it's reporting earnings on Wednesday night. All right, so tomorrow we have today's trading day and tomorrow's trading day. We'll see how it goes, but let's see. I think we could go fill this gap first and then go down because the cycle still has some time left. So we could go rally higher, maybe a lower high, then go low and fill this bottom gap. All depends on Nvidia, of course. If Nvidia earnings is good, we're going to definitely fill this gap. If they are bad, we could go down sooner than later. All right. So keep that in mind. And this is live market MES. We're already down 0.57%. And then if you look at SPY, we're already at this 20 moving average. So market is just in the middle, chopping around, trying to decide what to do. They could go fill this gap sooner than later too. Okay, so we have to be open-minded on both scenarios. All right. And if I show you this other chart, let's do this regression analysis chart. Um, Not sure where it went. Give me a second. Someone looks like something happened with the settings. Um, and Let me double check. Okay, let me pause this video and then find the chart, okay? All right, so here's the chart, S&P 500 regression chart, something wrong with training view, so I have to fix that setting later on. So you can see we are back below this white line, all right? So we are in this zone and we could go lower. Now, if I go to 4 hours chart, I want to show you something on RSI. Ideally, I would like RSI to touch this bottom gray line. You can see, and then it's good if you can get like a light red background, which is usually a good area to buy. You can see this is probably when that happens, that tells me kind of this is we're approaching close to bottom. You can see here, we can see we got it here, but then we dumped again, but this is again was recovered, and I would like to see at least dark red background, and now we still don't have that yet. Still have little lower to go on RSI. So from RSI perspective, we need to go around, let's say it says 30%, but that doesn't mean with price action, but I'll keep an eye on RSI, all right? Let's see if it can go lower. And on a 4 hour chart, you can see we are still in the middle. We can afford to go touch lower to this lower white line, and that will be from here. around 1.2, 1.3% away, okay? And that could mean that we could go on SPY, SPX lower to fill this gap, all right? So let me show you SPY. We could go lower. This is pre-market already down 0.6%. We could go lower around 1.3% more to fill this gap. That will be a really nice entry to go long for Santa Claus rally, all right? So that's what I'm leaning towards. And let's keep an eye on RSI. Now, if I go to 2 hours chart, you can see RSI is already touched this red line. Yesterday came a light green background and bouncing. But again, the higher the time frame, the better the results are. We are in this buy zone here, but 4 hours chart is saying there's still some room to go down. So we have to look into multiple analysis, multiple time frames to make an educated decision for ourselves. Okay, so I'll be waiting and see if we can get some more downturn here. Nasdaq, same thing here, 2 hours chart touching bottom line. If I go to 4 hours chart, let's see, it still has some room to go. All right, RSI still has some room to go to this red area, like I said, on S&P 500. And on NDX, we still have gaps. So the gap is around 20,000. So actually, it's more than that, 20,230. Okay, then there's another gap here, which is around 20,000 exactly. All right, so just keep that in mind. If I go to triple Qs, we are now already down 0.74%. So from where we are right now to fill that gap, 0.78%. So it could happen as soon as today. Next gap is around 2% away. So just be a bit careful here. Um, no point chasing these right now. Okay, so let's go to side by side comparison. I wanted to show you first. And this is where we are right now on NASDAQ touching the green line. Buy zone. This is only for day trading, guys, on the left side. And on the right side, NASDAQ is now going lower, going towards the support zone, which is 50 daily SMA. All right. S&P 500 also going below 20 moving average. Looks like they all want to go fill this gap, it seems like. Seems like everybody wants to fill this gap. And that gap on Dow Jones is even, actually, it's already down. So it could go down, fill this gap on IWM. Russell also there. Okay, so Russell is almost there. So it looks like today we're gonna go fill this gap, guys. It seems more likely sooner than later. 1% away, Russell, is the selection gap they're trying to fill. So keep that in mind. And Bitcoin is pretty strong. I've been telling everybody to sell, uh, take profits, but nobody wants to listen to me. That's up to you. Um, you can see very, very light green background, very, very overbought. Why would you be buying here, guys, when you did not buy here around 50K or even lower? All right, so this is no reason to buy right now, okay? And if I go to weekly chart, I showed yesterday in a short video, price is going higher, but you can see what's happening on PPO and RSI. Here you go, arrow here. You can see RSI is going lower, PPO going lower, price is going higher on lower momentum. Even if I go to monthly chart, same thing here. You can see monthly higher, lower PPO and RSI. So why would you be, even on daily, I think it must be happening now. You can see on daily chart, new high and almost equal high with lower RSI, lower high. But also crossover about to happen. Green line is about to cross red line. So keep that in mind. Once that happens, that's not good because then it's going to be a lot of downward pressure. Like same as what happened in S&P 500. You can see here we got this crossover yesterday. Green line below red line. You want green line above red line. Nasdaq same thing. Green line is below red line. All these indices are crossing over. So that's not good. Even SPX is like that, right? You can see crossover just happening right now. So um, again, back to Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. And then BTC futures, multiple gaps. All these green lines are multiple gaps to fill. All right. You can see here, gap here around 77K, 53K, 47K, and then 40K. So many gaps. So keep that in mind. And when that dump happens, you won't even get time to um, to take any action. It's going to be very quick. Ethereum. gap here around 29.62. All right, coming very close to gap fill. Once that fills, I think there's a top gap around 39.49, and also there's a bottom gap around 22.32. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go to crude oil. Crude oil is opposite of other indices. Crude oil is going higher. Other indices are going lower. See, that's why I bought things like CNQ. You can see it was up 1.69% yesterday. All the energy sector, XLE, you can see was up yesterday. CNQ guys, by the way, if I go to weekly chart, year to date, CNQ, this is 2024. This is January, right? Okay, so here is January. From here to where we are right now, 1.47%. Just 1 year did nothing. Just consolidating for like a year almost, right? So maybe they will pump before the end of the year. So that's one of the reasons I'm holding CNQ. And you can see oil is already green right now. So most likely this is going to open on green too. And we'll see how things shape up. So something I want to say, people are saying oil is going to drop. Bad seasonality, but you have to keep an eye. This is at low of the year. You need to buy stuff which is at low of the year, not which is at all-time highs like Nasdaq, S&P 500, and Bitcoin. Anything else is high, so keep that in mind. All right, let's go keep moving on to other sectors. Toronto Stock Exchange, again, all-time high, getting a 9-count sell signal. Hang Seng Index is kind of bear flagging down, again bear flagging. I would like it to go to 18K, 18,400, 18,500. There are a couple of gaps. Eventually, they will fill that. Bond finally picking up. Bond took a while. Finally, they are picking up bond market, ZB, TLT. Very good to see that people are putting money in the bond. Money going out of stocks, going to bond as expected. So this is good news for people who I think it's already bottomed. As soon as it closes above this 20 moving average, it should bottom very fast. Let's keep moving to commodities. Natural gas, new highs. Very good. Just keep that in mind that there's green gaps to fill at later date. They will fill. I think it's a very bullish time for natural gas. From now until end of November, it could go fill this 3.53 gap. Gold is recovering, just a technical bounce. Very, very oversold. You can see the dark red background here on RSI. PPO also was very, very oversold, so just crossing over. Silver, again, you can see the same thing, about to bounce. Copper, 7-count SPY signal, nothing here. Sugar is flagging. Hopefully it will break out soon, but whenever it breaks out, it's going to be very explosive. So look to buy the dip on sugar. Wheat, again, finally recovering. Wanted to close above all moving averages to be bullish. So 568 right now. Need to close above that. Corn again looking nice, closing above these all moving averages. So good sign here. Dollar is strong. In front of this resistance, actually, major resistance where it is right now, could not close yesterday, broke down. Let's see if it can recover and close above this previous high of 107. Let's see. Uh, Gold miners were pumping yesterday. All of them had a nice pump. Again, bouncing from 200 SMA. That's usually where stocks should bounce whenever they touch that 200 EMA and SMA. Again, up pre-market, most likely because of gold. So we'll see how it goes. Um, Out of all FANG stocks, Microsoft is interesting because it's sitting right on 200 EMA. So very, very interesting here, and probably going to open on a gap down. NVDA, probably market is waiting for NVIDIA earnings, so let's see how things shape up. A very good earnings will make 150. Bad earnings can make it dump. 119 could be possible. I think NVIDIA long term is going below 100. Maybe 86 is eventually, not now, I'm saying. Next year when things are not good, 30-40% is easy. 86 or even can come to this support here around 40. Oh, that's going to be too low, I think. I think here this is a nice support, 88 area. That will be a good entry for Nvidia, but let's see how things shape up. And then lastly, VIX up 13%, and VIX wants to fill this gap. So it's going higher, gonna fill this gap around $20, and then probably gonna come down, fill this bottom gap at a later stage. Okay guys, hopefully this is helpful. Please hit the like button on your way out. I really appreciate, and share this channel with friends and family. Have a good trading day. Bye.